Hi, it's me from my bed. So I'm sitting here editing this video currently, and I wanted to make 2 points before we get into the meat of this video. Number one, to be fair, I don't know if the Griot's Garage one-step sealant is supposed to sheet or bead water, but spoiler alert, it didn't. And I threw it out of the test early. I've used a lot of Griot's products in the past, and I've always had good luck with them, so I don't know, maybe this was a fluke. I just don't know. I don't know. Number two, with the exception of the chemicals that we applied, these tests can't really simulate the durability of the products. And that probably needs to be taken into consideration also. Bonus point, I'm also noticing while I'm editing this that you can't see anything on the hood. I do make a point about how white is a very bad color to show up on camera or even to your eye, and it's going to be something that I'm going to try and remedy. Anyways, that's all I have. Enjoy the video. What's going on, YouTube? Luke here with Clean Automotive Detailing. Today I wanted to try something different. I wanted to do a quote-unquote product review. I see a lot of videos out on YouTube that kind of weigh the pros and cons of kind of consumer grade and professional products. So I thought, well, everybody else is doing it. There's no shortage of doing it. Why would I do it? But I don't know. Maybe I have a different way of explaining things. So take it for what it's worth. If you like it, great. If you don't, great, I guess. Today I'm going to be testing a couple different sealants, and the product that I'm going to be focusing on is the Meguiar's hybrid ceramic wax. I got it off a recommendation from Jimbo Balaam off the Auto Detailing podcast, so shout out to Jimbo. I've used this product once and I had phenomenal results from it, so I'm going to put it up head to head with a sealant and a wax. And I'm going to see how it performs hydrophobically. And I'm going to try and get some dirty water on it too and add a little pizzazz to the mix. The piece that I'm working on is my test panel. It's a hood off of a Silverado 1500. There's a big dent in it, and that's why I got it for free. But it's a big working area. I'm going to tape it off, and we're going to do it in a couple different sections. So I'm going to prep it by claying the whole thing and isopropyl alcohol over the top, and that will give us a fresh area to work with. To keep it fair, I'm not going to work anything over where the dent is. So I'm going to get it cleaned, and we'll get started. These are the windows we're going to be working on, and here. Like I said, I'm not going to do anything over here with the dent because, I don't know, paint's probably been scratched off. I'm just not even going to deal with it. And sorry in advance for the white color. I know that white is like the worst color to see, but it was free. So I've already clayed, I've already dried, and I already did IPA. So these are the products we're working with right there. Griot's one-step sealant, Meguiar's high-tech yellow wax, and the product in question, the Meguiar's hybrid ceramic wax. I got this off eBay because I couldn't find it anywhere. I looked everywhere. I looked at all 3 detailing supply stores in my area. I looked at O'Reilly's, I looked at AutoZone. I could not find it, so I had to get it off Amazon. This was $20 for and this is a pretty big bottle, 26 fluid ounces. $20. Of course, I went back on to look at it again, and it was $15 2 days later, so, you know, whatever. But, yeah, we're gonna get started. The only caveat to this is that this needs to be applied while it's wet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do these 2 windows first when they're dry, and then this window over here I'm going to wet down just with a spray bottle, and we will apply it then. So I'm going to do that. Roll time lapse. Also, to keep it fair, I'm using all the same towels. This stuff smells really good. It smells like bananas. So the Meguiar's high-tech yellow wax smells a lot like bananas, and this thing is like hardcore blueberry. Like, it's almost like overwhelmingly blueberry flavored. It's blueberry flavored. I'm sure it probably tastes that way as well. It's just kind of nice to, you know, spray on your chemical and have like a pleasant smell instead of, you know, like iron remover. I don't know. So yeah, for what it's worth, blue bottle, smells like blueberries. Okay, so before I do the water test, I wanted to make a few quick points. As far as like ease of application and removal, the yellow wax, the Meguiar's yellow wax, was like far superior, both going on and coming off. It felt super smooth going on, and it didn't kind of leave behind that film that you see when you use wax. So point of note there. It is a little cold out here. It's currently 45, so I guess that's something to be noted. The last thing was that the ceramic wax left behind, the Meguiar's ceramic wax left behind a pretty thick film behind it, so that took some pretty substantial wiping. So I'm gonna pull the tape off, and we're going to hit it with some water and see what happens. So right away I can tell that the Meguiar's hybrid ceramic wax and the high-tech yellow wax are far outperforming the Griot's Garage one-step sealant. I mean, there's a little bit of sheeting going on. And I'm hoping this is coming up. Yeah, I mean, it is an extremely clear line where that tape was. So as far as I'm concerned, that one is completely out of the game. So the more interesting thing is going to be between these two. Yeah, so the yellow wax is definitely sheeting more, and there's definitely a lot less residual on it. And there may be something to do with, I'm kind of on an angle here, so I don't know if maybe these angles are slightly different. I guess I didn't take that into account, but you can definitely tell when it's being hit with the water that this isn't so, you know, it's not so aggressive to get the water off while the water's on it, whereas the hybrid wax is immediately, you can see it. So that's interesting. I'm going to try and get some dirty water made up, and we'll see what happens when we throw a bucket on it. That's the fun part. We're going to be using a lovely concoction of nasty soapy water and bark dust. So immediately spraying on, it definitely doesn't sheet or bead or anything. And I'm assuming that's because it has soap in it. So we're gonna wash it off and see what comes back. Just really interesting. I just didn't expect this. The way this high-tech yellow wax, the way it sheets it off, there's nothing left. There's no water left, right? And really, at the end of the day, that's what you want. You want your water to not stick to the car. The beading looks pretty, right, and it's neat, but you don't want the dirt or the water to stick to the car, because in the water is the dirt, right? So if water sticks to the car, dirt sticks to the car. So I don't know, I found that really interesting. We're gonna do it one more time with the dirty water and just kind of let it dwell for a minute and just see what happens. I'm gonna set my timer for 5 minutes or so, and then we'll come back to it and spray it off one more time. Okay, so that was 4 minutes. We're gonna wash it off and see what we got. So at this point, I'm hoping, the Griot's Garage one-step sealant is gone. There's absolutely no hydrophobic effect at all, no beading, no sheeting, nothing. So I think for the rest of this video, this product is disqualified. Sorry, Griot. So now what I want to do is just try a few chemicals on it, and I guess kind of starting from least abrasive, maybe abrasive is the wrong word, least harsh chemical, and then work our way up to, well, I've got ammonia, but I've also got some brake clean. So brake clean will be the end all be all. First thing I wanted to use is just a rim cleaner, and I think this will make a good point about touchless car washes. You know, when you kind of think about what they are in essence, they don't use brushes, right? So what do they have to use to get your car clean? They have to use harsh chemicals. I guess the point I'm trying to make is, what will this do to whatever protection that you have on your vehicle? So we're going to try this one first, and then next we're going to try like WD-40. I mean, I don't know. Okay, so that's been about 30 seconds dwell time, and we're gonna rinse it off. And I'm gonna move this to our new area. Okay. I gotta tell you, this yellow wax is really surprising me. I've used it before. I've never used it on my own vehicles, so I've never seen what it does in the rain, but I mean, just the water's gone. It's incredible. I'm like, that is cool for me. I'm excited to use this on one of my own vehicles here soon. So the rim cleaner didn't do a whole lot. I can definitely tell with the yellow wax that the sheeting, and this is the universal sign for sheeting. The sheeting was definitely slower on the yellow wax. And I really didn't notice a big difference on the hybrid ceramic. The beads are definitely not as uniform, but there's still plenty of hydrophobic effect going on both panels. They're just so different. So we're gonna move on to WD-40, let it dwell for about 30 seconds ish, and then we'll move on to something else. So I realized that I've just done something extremely stupid. WD-40, in case you didn't know, stands for Water Displacement 40th Attempt. It took them 40 tries to get it right. It's a water displacement formula, and I only realized it as I was spraying it on. That was really dumb, and I may have just ruined this experiment. So, the beading is gone. there's definitely, you can tell a difference between where the one that we ruled out was and the new one, but I did spray WD-40 on it, so I really don't know what to do now. That was just so dumb. So I'm gonna keep spraying it for maybe a minute and a half, and I don't know, maybe I can get rid of it. That was really stupid. So I'm gonna keep going. All right, well, I think that concludes our test. The WD-40, I guess, has taken off everything that was on there and applied its own little, this is the universal sign for formula and elements. See, we're learning things today. The last thing I'm gonna do, I think, if you read the instructions on this, it says for the initial application, skip step 4, which is, whatever. Skip step 4 and go directly to step 5. So essentially the first time that you apply this, you keep the car wet, spray it on, wipe it in, and then dry it off, right? So after you've applied it once, to reapply it, what you're supposed to do is, while the car is wet, spray it on, and then spray it off with water. So we're going to try to reapply it and see what happens. I don't know if any of that WD-40 is still on there. At this point, I'm losing light, and I'm getting very cold. So we're going to spray it on, spray it off, and if we get good results, maybe we'll keep going with the chemical test, and if not, then we will wrap it up. Okay. Okay, so again, this is really interesting. Actually, the first point I want to make is, if you are using this as like a refresh to itself, it does say on here, use a strong stream of water to rinse the vehicle a second time. The hydropower of this rinse will spread the product, coating all the exterior with our whatever. I tried it with the first time I did it, I tried it with a really strong blast of water, and it just sprayed it off, and I didn't get any of the beating. So I did it again, and the second time I just used a real light mist, and I think it helped it kind of evenly coat a little bit better. So, not sure what they were thinking. I don't know. Maybe I just didn't have a strong enough stream of water. Anyways, the interesting thing is that the area that it was before, that was wiped in with this is not as hydrophobic as the area with the high-tech yellow wax. I don't know if maybe this is working somehow in tandem with the high-tech yellow wax. I'm not sure, but yeah. So those are my notes on that. I am gonna do one more thing before I'm done. I thought it would be kind of fun. I'm gonna put some oil on the surface where it's been coated, and I just said coated. That's funny. And then rinse it off and see what happens, and that will conclude this video. Just simple 2-stroke oil. And over here, I'm going to use some high mileage 5W20. Alright, I'm going to wipe this off so we're not getting like straight oil in the water table. So I honestly expected that to do more. So, we are going to call that a night. It is now 40 degrees, and I am starting to get cold, and a vest was a bad idea for an overshirt. So, yeah, that was kind of fun, and if you guys liked it, then leave a like, subscribe, and I will maybe make this a weekly or, you know, a regular thing. But my fingers are freezing cold, so I'm going to call this a night and call this a video, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.